Hey everyone, on today's episode, it's just me and Wade catching up on the last 51 episodes that we've recorded together. We revisit our original drill baby drill philosophy that we talked about in episode 1, talk about the rise of AI in oil and gas over the last year, go through market volatility and our favorite economic indicators, including audit activity as a market signal. We share our favorite guests and talk about potential future content and industry deep dives. We'd love for you to comment and tell us what you'd like to hear more of and what you've enjoyed about the show so far. We have no intention of stopping and look forward to another year. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please click that button. And if you wait to the very end of the episode, I uploaded a song that I wrote 20 years ago that had AI repurpose and enhance. So hopefully that's fun as part of our 1 year celebration. So thanks for being here. Enjoy the show.
Hello, this is Clint with Wagner Energy Services. You're listening to the Local Energy Podcast.
All right. Welcome to Local Energy. My name's Peter. I'm here with Wade and pretty excited today. We have officially, this is our 1 year anniversary of recording, Wade. So a year ago, I sat down and I asked you about Drill Baby Drill and what you thought about it. And we're going to just start the show with the same question.
Okay. I don't remember what it was. All right.
Yeah. And
Okay.
well, I had to go back. I don't have that kind of memory.
I got you.
I got notes. I got good notes. But man, let's do a review of that particular question and
Okay.
man, where things are at now is dramatically different than where they were 365 days ago. So I'll let you take it, and then I don't know, might have a different response last time than just nodding my head.
All right. Okay. So drill, baby, drill. I don't think that my opinions changed. I don't remember how I answered, but it was just one of those.
Yeah.
It sounds great, and it's probably something that the politicians love to say to get some votes in red states. But as far as I think boots on the ground, I think we've all become a little bit jaded to it in the sense that a lot of times, I mean, if you're going to pick up a lot of activity, it's got to be driven by price. And, you know, the current administration, love them or hate them, whatever it is, like they're definitely pushing for lower energy prices, which is not something that the oil field, you know, or that supports the families that are working in the oil field. Let's say that much. Now, despite all that, we're also really experiencing, I mean, like right now, it is very much a different environment than it was a year ago. I mean, we're pushing $90 to $100 a barrel right now, which is, you know, should be a heyday. You would expect if drill baby drill was in full effect, would be picking up rigs left and right and frac crews and all those things. And activities may be picking up a little bit, but you know, considering we were $50 a few months ago, you know, I don't think anybody's jumping at it.
For sure. I would agree. I mean, obviously, I'm asking the question for the nostalgia purpose, right? But at the same time, again, very similar to what we talked about last time was, yeah, it's a political, you know, it's a great marketing line, right? And
Right.
ultimately, does that speak well to the actual industry? Probably not. On the activity side, I actually today on Twitter was reading a few companies saying, okay, we're actually kind of ready now. They kind of feel like that 80 to 90 a barrel is sustainable, I guess. I don't know. But they might start some drilling. And on our side, having conversations with all these oil and gas companies, my team's seeing kind of the same thing is like they're asking questions. They're kind of curious. Hey, I got this, might be lining this up, might not be. So potentially, you know, dipping their toe into the water, which is pretty cool. So anyways, we'll see how that goes.
I believe it when they start signing rig contracts, like when they start putting actual money behind it.
Right.
Oh, every year, ask any guy who's ever worked in oil field services. And like come October, like the heat's starting to pick up and everybody's like, oh yeah, Q1, our budget's resetting. Like we're going to pick up rigs. We're going to get going. And then comes like January and they're like, well, we're still getting land together. It's probably more like a March, April, and then March, April, it's mid-year. And when they sign a rig contract, all right, that's whenever wheels get spinning.
So add, you know, to whatever they say, I don't know, multiply it by 4 in terms of time, maybe, I don't know, maybe even longer.
Yeah, sometimes never.
Very volatile.
Sometimes never.
All right, so other things that have changed since we started was, you know, there really wasn't a lot of AI, right? Not a lot of AI conversation. Now, I mean, and also we didn't know how to record or edit videos, but I'll tell you, even editing these videos and putting them out on YouTube has changed for me. So what used to be a very manual process, now there's like tools that are helping me with it. And it's like, it's incredible. I mean, and I feel like we're getting slowly, progressively better quality. And if you're listening to this and you're in agreement, please let us know. We want to make this a fun experience for you guys to listen to and quality too. But like, I mean, like even music now, right? So I used to play music back, I don't know, 20 years ago, piano, guitar, all that. Could never sing.
Sure.
It was always never able to do that. But like I took one of our old recordings that I had on like an old MIDI compressor and uploaded it into this AI tool called Suno. And I was like, hey, can you basically clean this up? Let's repurpose it. And it did it. And I was like, I don't know if like a year into a podcast, if you could have a theme song, but man, it comes up with some cool stuff. Like you can write music now with AI and all the oil and gas stuff. So I'll put that song at the very end of this episode. I've never figured out where to put it. I just think it's really cool. You can do that with AI, but we didn't have AI. And really oil and gas did it. And I think we've seen this massive inflection in that too. You've been using it, I've been using it. So that's just something, I guess, for the journal here that I want to sort of, because I'm going to look back on this hopefully next year. If we make it through 2 years, I can look back on this one and be like, okay, AI with Claude, we have Opus 4.7 that just came out. You like it. I haven't really had great success with it. We just spent, a few minutes before this talking about how it's changing website SEO. And I mean, I'm working with it in Excel sheets now, as much as possible. So, anyways, I guess guests. We have so many great guests coming up, and I need to talk to you about scheduling one of them. Don't let me forget,
Okay.
so we can get that locked down. But looking back on it, is there any guests that we've talked to that you're just like, man, like that person had some great insights? It's hard for me to pick. I looked back on it and I could not figure out, like, if I had to talk to somebody again, I would talk to all of them again. But is there somebody maybe that stood out a little more than others for you?
I mean, we had a lot of great conversations. You know, it was really great getting to talk to Juan. I mean, like just because he, got such a big personality. One of my favorite things was like these people who I kind of follow and kind of lurk on a little bit. And, you get to feel like you get to know them just a bit through their posts and all that different stuff. To actually get to them and sharing that's really cool. And so and those are some of the ones that I enjoyed the most, were the ones who I kind of feel like I knew just a little bit through following them on Twitter.
It goes back to that, like, less prep, right? So, talking to Hano, right, for
Right.
example, it's like that's such a natural conversation because there's stuff. It's like less prep. I'm trying to think. Like, I really, if I could go back, I wish that like the podcasting started so early. But I love talking to the authors. Like, I love people that are writing this stuff down. So,
Right.
Meredith was great. Meredith Engwin, and then we had Dan Doyle, who he's running away with the views. I think he's at like 8,000 views on this video now, and but writing about this stuff is pretty cool, and I think just for me translating into another medium. But
Right.
I've learned from everybody, and I have the privilege of being able to edit every podcast and go through the transcript multiple times, and so you kind of start to pick up on common themes for me, which is this is a tough industry, it's a necessary industry, and it's not going away, right? So I think it reaffirms my belief that oil and gas is, I think, the coolest. It's the coolest industry. I really enjoy it, and just the benefit of, I guess, the blessing really of being able to talk to all these people is just amazing, and like hear their thoughts on it every week. So we'll keep going. I had a meeting with a big operator here in California, and she was like, if you guys stop recording now, like we're all going to be disappointed, because I get, they're sharing this with their team internal. I was just like, no way. Like I don't still want to believe her. Right. But
That's really
they've
cool.
been a really big supporter of what we're doing. And so if we make it to 2 years, then I'm looking at, okay, well then you're going to go for 5. Right. And then at once a week, you're just going to, it's pretty amazing. But one question I had, so we had the Raptor Index, right?
Okay.
We followed that, we track it. It's fun. Do you have like your own like weird indicator that tells you what's working on the oil field or just in your career? Like, is there something that you're superstitious about maybe, or not really?
No, not necessarily. I'll tell you. Okay, so here's one strange little thing, but it's usually kind of later in the cycle. What I've realized is that as activity, like drilling activity, completions activity, just general activity decreases, we see a equal but opposite in terms of like increase in auditing. Like it feels to me like whenever revenue is going down, all of these companies, all of these operators are like, oh, maybe what we could do is we could spend some money, we could go audit other operators to make sure that all the tickets line up, you know, and get some of our revenue back that way. Like that seems to be something that's always now, right now, like the audit activity is super low. Everything's kind of normal, like tells me like we're kind of healthy. But when things get bad, like you just start dealing with audit calls all the time. I mean, at one point, now this was years and years ago, 2 or 3 companies ago. But I mean, I literally had a guy that called me and he's like going through these old daily reports from at that time, literally 8 years prior. And like when you run casing, like the last joint of casing, a lot of times, like you have to cut it off. Like you cut it off at the surface and you get it ready for production and all that stuff. And like his question to me was like, well, what did you guys do with the rest of that joint of casing? I mean, like, and I'm like, literally, he's asking me, I wasn't even the engineer on the report, but I'm the engineer at the company at the time, and he's like trying to claw back like probably the $30 of scrap, that they got for that, that however many feet of a cut joint of casing, and it was that whenever it really crystallized to me, like, we're really bad place in the oil field right now whenever this is going on, because I'm pretty sure the audits, on those things, like they get a percentage of whatever they audit back, that's a lot of times their pay. And so, man, that was kind of eye-opening for me. So we haven't gotten that bad again.
That's actually a really good indicator, though, of a lot of things. I mean, it's, I mean, in any industry, right? So, I mean, I just look at, I mean, insurance, hard market, soft market, doesn't matter, new business starting,
Yep.
renewal, it's all, but there's always, it's funny in a soft market, like when things are easy and you can get insurance, like there tends to be more carriers that will do, like the non-audited stuff. And then you get to a hard market and no, those policies are all audited. Like how many miles are you really driving every day? It's expensive to put some of that stuff in, but yeah, the auditing thing, that's very good call out. Never thought about that.
Similar to the Raptor Index. So whenever I was working in the field, a lot of times it was like MWD or directional driller, you got to have a fifth wheel. Like you could pull a trailer out there and live on location. We didn't live in the like provided trailers. It was great. You had your own little place. It was the golden age. It was amazing. But you could tell like 2009, 2010, like the price of RVs in Oklahoma and Texas plummeted because all those jobs were lost and everybody was putting all that stuff up for sale. So, it was a really good time to buy boats and jet skis and trailers and heavy duty
Right.
pickups. So, well,
But it's kind of like, well, there's that Warren Buffett thing, right? Where he always would say, you have to buy when other people are fearful, right? So it's hard for people to go spend money. It's like, hey, look, I'm not really feeling confident about the market right now. And I look at it right now and I think we're in this is my conspiracy theory, not financial advice by any means. I'm just a person with a microphone, but I think we're like kind of in the last like 6 months, 7 months of growth in the stock market. And I think everything kind of comes down at that point. I hope I'm wrong because I never want things to go sideways. But I think energy stocks, if there's anything that's going to stay supported, is going to be energy. Because again, you still got the AI, you still got all that stuff going on is not going to change. We're already in it and it's not going to go away. So
we would love it, but
bullish on energy.
we've been
Always.
beaten down so many times. We don't really believe it yet.
No, I get it. I get it. So, what are some things that we haven't talked about that maybe we should talk about? I sort of asking this question to the audience, people that are listening as well. But is there something we haven't covered or that you would like covered to cover in more detail? Are there people that you're like, man, I really wish we could go talk to that person? Because I have been just kind of hitting the phones, and unfortunately, if you've heard me and I've called you, it's probably because I'm like, hey, you got some interesting stuff that you posted or topics, and I'd love to have you on and talk to you, and almost at a point where we're booked out 2 or 3 months in advance right now, which is awesome. But is there anyone or something that you want to talk about that we haven't had on? And you don't have to name names, but topically, like what should we cover for the next year? Should we just keep doing the same thing or should we change it up a little bit?
I love the operations stuff. You know what I mean? Like whenever we get kind of into the weeds a little bit, whenever we talk about wireline or we talk about a plunger lift or, well, we talked really just broad production. Like I would love to get more into some of that stuff.
Yeah.
just breaking stuff down. There'd probably be, one thing we haven't talked about, though, it would be interesting to get somebody on who is associated with drill bits. That's something that we use all the time on the drilling side, every single run, and so it would be interesting to get somebody on, talk about drill bits and show some different stuff. So, yeah.
Okay. I think I've got somebody for that. I haven't lined them up yet, but I don't know. There's always, and the thing is, with every topic, you can talk to one person and they have a great set of ideas.
Mm-hmm.
And then you talk to another and they have similar things that they want to share, but then there might be, oh, by the way, like this is how I think about that differently. And I don't know, I love that being able to kind of hear all sides of it. So drill bits done. Uh, if you are listening to this on YouTube or Spotify, drop a comment. We'd love to know what you want to hear. And again, I love going back to that. Like I think the very first person we interviewed was out in Midland talking about frac plugs, right? And that was probably our number one video on TikTok. We no longer are really on TikTok because it's just, man, it's a bloodbath of spending time on there if you get stuck into it. But I mean, yeah, that's where it started, right? Is talking about those real boots on the ground. Hey, my hands are on the tools; they're on the things that are actually going down. I think it's amazing, and yeah, the production conversation too.
Oh, guys, I was gonna say another one I would love is I see Collide posting all the time about like their proprietary LLM and all that different stuff. It's been interesting to follow that and see that. I mean, they're posting more and more information about it, and I saw even Chuck post about it a day or two ago, and he hit on something that I was actually wondering about. One of the things is like when we've started building things with AI for us to use just on a personal level, the thing is like, well, I mean, how long should we spend building it? Because give it maybe 2 or 3 weeks, maybe a month, and Claude or Anthropic or somebody will come out with something that'll get you 90% of the way there. And so I've kind of wondered that a little bit with their AI, kind of LLM, and Chuck kind of hit on it, but his confidence really kind of bolstered me to think that they're really onto something. So I would love to hear more details about kind of what they've been building and how it, how it's just a differentiator versus kind of what's out there right now. Because I'd love to use it or get a run at it or something.
Yeah, well, we're good friends with the guys over at Collide. I mean, we've been on their podcast, been onto their studio. We swap emails. We're doing a collaboration with them next month. So in May, I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but whatever, it's out there now, and this will be coming out early, about a week before, anyways. But yeah, no, I'd love to get someone from there on it. And Chuck is actually, I have it. I have a screenshot of it. He said he would come on as guest number 100. So it's good. It's been fun. I'm just gonna say thank you to everybody for being on. Wade, I know you're on the road somewhere in the middle of Texas, like heading to go do cool things and just doing the engineering thing. So I just want to thank everyone for listening. Wade, I know that when we first talked, we had no intent of doing a podcast, and here we are. Episode 52. You stuck with it, and so just really appreciate it. So
Well, let me say too. Oh, well, I mean, it's been awesome. I'll tell you, let me tell you, thank you, man. You've been the glue to not only get it started, but keep it going. And I've just really enjoyed it. I love talking oil and gas, and you make it a whole lot of fun. Your excitement for it and love for it and all that stuff's a lot of fun. So yeah, want to keep going.
all right, well, I hope that never dies. Thank you guys for listening. We'll be back to our regular show next week. All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you.